Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that I know that everyone has been struggling with, and that is the fear of being seen. The fear of being seen may have stemmed from deeper wounds. It may have come from our childhood traumas where growing up, we weren't always seen the way that we wanted to be seen. We were always put down, we were judged, we were bullied, and it could even come from people who are the most closest to us, like our parents or friends, relatives, even ourselves. You may not even notice it, but we are our number one bullies, and we put down ourselves before other people put down us. When I was a kid, my environment was quite toxic. It was I was dealing with a lot of parental issues. My parents were very narcissistic, especially my mother. Every time I would go up to her and tell her about my feelings, my emotions, how I was bullied in school, she would always put me down and say something back to me where I felt like everything was my fault, that I was broken and I was deserving of people putting me down. And so I actually believed that because as a kid, I didn't really know much. I never really got a chance to navigate all of my feelings and my emotions because my parents weren't emotionally there. So I had to really learn how to parent myself. And as like a kid, that's not something that I knew how to do because I was a kid. And because of that, as a result, I really just had all of these beliefs that weren't really beneficial to me. But the most thing that I really believed was that I didn't deserve to be seen. So I wore baggy clothes to hide my body. I always had my hair up because having my hair down, meaning I was being girly, I was being feminine, I was being pretty, and I didn't want to draw attention. So I always had my hair up. I would wear hand-me-down, baggy, oversized men's clothing. I stayed away from colorful clothes, stayed away from pink, which was my favorite color. I didn't wear any skirts or dresses. I really tried to be invisible, not just in the way that I dressed, but also in the way that I acted, because I truly believed I was invisible. I would always walk with my head down. I would always think the worst case scenarios. I would always assume that no one wanted to be my friend. Everyone was out to get me. Everyone thought the worst of me, that no one wanted to truly be my friend. And if they did say they wanted to be my friend, it was because they had ulterior motives, which may or may not have been the case, but just assuming that right off the bat without even getting to know someone was my default mode at the time. And the way that people treated me was the same way that I treated myself, was the same way that I believed that I was invisible. I had a lot of people who would just interrupt me when I was speaking. I had a lot of people who would dismiss me when I was speaking and wouldn't really listen to what I had to say because they didn't believe that what I had to say was important. Because I didn't believe what I had to say was important. I didn't believe that I was important. People would not even see me in a room, even when I tried to make a lot of noise to come into a room. Or, I remember so many times where someone would get really surprised that I was even there because they didn't hear me, they didn't see me. Times when people have actually sat on me because they didn't see me right in front of them. And because of this, because I tried everything in my power to feel small and to feel invisible, my reality reflected that. And it wasn't until later when I got older that I realized all the beliefs that you have about yourself, your own self-concept, is reflected back into your own reality. So if you really believe that you can't do something, then you can't do something because you probably would never even try. If you believe that you don't deserve more, then your reality will reflect that and you won't get what you deserve. People will treat you less than, and everything that will happen in reality will just kind of create this feedback loop where it kind of reaffirms your own belief, and then that your own belief gets stronger, and then that gets reflected back into the reality, and then it just kind of like, it's just like a loop, just like a loop. And so when we are growing up with childhood trauma, or when we have this idea that we are less than, that we don't have what it takes to do something, it won't get reflected back into the reality, and we won't get these relationships or opportunities that really reflects who we are and what we deserve. So I always had this fear of being seen, but I also have a desire to be seen. Most likely, if you have a fear of being seen, you actually want to be seen because you've never really been seen truly. You know, you probably felt like that no one really understood you. No one really listened to you. No one really gives you the care and love that you always wanted, that you missed. And so I'm going to just have to say that you can't force people to give you that love and that comfort and to really see you before you see yourself. It's really important for you to really reframe your self-concept and your own beliefs about yourself and your own value. And then once you start kind of rewiring that self-concept of yourself, your reality is going to reflect that new belief that you have of yourself. So currently I'm actually taking a theater class at my local community college. And prior to that, I have taken a drama class in high school, and I absolutely hated that class because it forced me to be seen. I had to stand up in front of the class and just do things that are completely out of my comfort zone. I didn't know how to really grasp that. I didn't know how to feel those emotions and really work with them. Instead, I remember feeling just always having anxiety attacks and always breaking down and just wanting to make myself smaller than I already was. I didn't like playing the games in the class. I didn't see the point in class. And honestly, really kicked myself and beat me down because I was like, what am I doing in this class? Like, I'm not supposed to be here. I don't want to stand up and do these things. Why did I even decide to take drama? You know, growing up, because I was so invisible, I also was, I guess, labeled as the quiet kid or the shy kid. I never really wanted to speak up because I didn't want to be seen. And so it didn't really make sense for me and for others to see me take this class at the time. But I did it, and I absolutely hated it. And I told myself I would never take another drama class ever again until now, years later down the line, when my intuition called me to take a theater class. So I'm now currently enrolled in my theater class at my local community college, and I really like it. it's still very uncomfortable for me because I have to do all of these things that are just so out of my comfort zone, make weird noises, do weird poses, and do it in front of the whole class. Everyone's eyes are on you. The stage lights are on and the spotlight is on you, on me. And my heart starts racing. I start perspiring. I start constantly thinking about, I started really being so self-aware of myself. But it really has helped stretch me and challenged me to be seen and to be okay with being seen. To teach me that being seen may not always mean that someone is going to assume or judge the worst out of you. Of course, there's no way to really control what other people are thinking about you, but it doesn't really matter once you really have a solid self-concept about yourself. Once you really know who you are and what your value is, it doesn't really matter what anyone truly thinks about you. And I have to say, for me to get from this scared, shy, quiet, invisible person who had really low self-esteem to someone who is okay with being seen and is taking steps to being seen, to doing monologues in front of the whole class and freaking nailing it. How did I even go there? When I was younger, I literally did not say anything at all because I just, people thought there was literally something wrong with me because I didn't talk that much. My parents thought that there was something wrong with me, so they actually sent me to get tested because I didn't really talk a lot. To this person right now where I'm posting videos online, I'm taking a theater class and I'm speaking a lot. How do I get to that point? It's definitely a really long, arduous, painful healing journey because healing work is hard work. And there's no way to make healing easy or fun or, soft and nice. It's really going to be very difficult. But I think the first step is to really identifying why you have that fear of being seen, which is because of childhood trauma, maybe because of XYZ. And then taking small little steps to put yourself out there, to get out of your comfort zone and to really stretch your limits and potential. I would say that the number one thing for me is to build a trust within myself, to really build rapport within myself, to trust myself that no matter what goes my way, that I can deal with it. I can handle with it, there are so many times where I have really surprised myself because I didn't think that I would be able to handle it. But in the end, I did. Was it easy? Absolutely not. Did I break down? Yes, multiple times. Did I want to quit? Yes, multiple times. But in the end, I got through it. And because I got through it, I built that trust within myself. Every single time I stretch my limits, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do so much more than I thought that I could ever do. And because of that, I built this trust within myself. So if I go to theater class and I don't really have I guess I have the syllabus, but the syllabus doesn't tell you everything that's going on in the class. Literally just come to class blind, not knowing what we're going to do. And when my professor is like, okay, you got to do this and you got to stand in front of everyone under the spotlight and act this out, or you got to say this and make some weird noises, pretend to do this, or think of something on the spot and then perform it right then. It's so anxiety inducing to think about that. Because if you have gone through a childhood trauma where you are afraid of being seen, chances are you don't like spontaneity. You like things are predictable. You like things are, you like to know all of the plans, right? Like if you're going on a trip, you like to know where you're staying at. You like to know all of your like itinerary. You want to know everything that goes on in that trip. But to come into something blind, and then you need to really trust yourself. So, and the more that I go to these classes, the more I'm like, okay, thinking on the spot, acting on the spot, which is completely different. I found out that I was actually pretty good at it. There's one class where we had to say the lines, I am bored, 3 times as if we are bored. But then we also had to say it again 3 times in a specific context. And there's like 4 or 5 different contexts that you can choose from. And the class, at the end, after you're performing it, the class gets to kind of say like what kind of concept that you chose. So I think there was like being in love or making someone fall in love with you. I think there's one that's like making fun of somebody. There's another one that was the one that I did was like to tell someone that I have this kind of capability. I forgot, but it's something around like that. And I remember I was going to do the one that's like to make someone fall in love. But then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what? I don't really have experience in this or great experience in this. So at the last minute, when I got chosen to go up, I changed my mind and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this concept. And then I just did it. And then I was afraid, but, I just channeled my inner teenager self that felt invisible and had no say. And I was like, like telling these invisible people that they shouldn't underestimate me. And my professor, he gave me feedback and he said everything I did and say was great. I just need to kind of be louder. And that was the only feedback I got. And yeah, like going to theater class and then doing all these activities blind and just being in the zone of spontaneity, unpredictability has further built that trust within myself that whatever life throws at me, I got it. I can deal with it. Is it going to be easy? No, but can I get through it? Yes. And I think that's the most important thing, is to know that whatever life throws at you, life can throw a curveball at you, life can throw a fake throw at you, but you have this trust within yourself that whatever comes your way, that you can handle it. And because I built that trust, now when I need to be seen, I know that I can deal with whatever that comes up. That I trust myself that I can get through it and I can just dive right in and accomplish what I am seeking out to accomplish. Now, I still have this fear of being seen. I think everyone still has this fear of being seen. No one likes to think that people are going to judge them or people are going to say all these things about them. But again, when you are so certain about the value that you have within you, your own value and what you deserve, no one can really shake you. If they want to judge, then they can judge. Like, I don't freaking care. If I did my monologue, if I did this big gesture, doesn't matter if people are going to judge, And I feel like at the end, when you actually put yourself out there, you will feel like you accomplished something, even if it didn't really go the way that you want it to go. there's going to be so many more opportunities and chances for you to put yourself out there. And one day you are going to do fantastic. As a teenager, yeah, I try to put myself out there after realizing that being invisible doesn't serve me anymore. And it was really hard at first because, I would always judge myself and think that other people are judging me, and just be so self-conscious and so self-aware of myself that I would actually, putting myself out there made things a little bit worse. But the thing is, you can't really control what other people are feeling, only yourself. So if you think you did worse, analyze that. Analyze why you think something happened. Maybe you put yourself out there and someone else judged you, someone else laughed at you. Doesn't really matter. Does that mean that you shouldn't put yourself out there anymore? No, it just means that you probably shouldn't associate with this person, or this person isn't, part of your soul tribe. They don't understand you, and that's completely okay. But just because someone judges you in a negative light doesn't mean that you should stop trying to put yourself out there and to be seen, because you deserve to be seen. Everyone has unique gifts and talents and things to put out into the world. And we need that. We need that. And I think seeing other people with your talents and your gifts, not like your specific ones, but just seeing the people out there who's doing what you want to do should be inspiring. And, we need more people like that in the world. We need your unique self, your unique design, your authenticity to be out into the world. So don't play small. No one gets by. No one is okay. No one succeeds just by playing small, just by staying hidden, And the thing is, you don't really truly understand what you are capable of if you don't put yourself out there. You really don't. How do you know that you have a natural talent for something, or natural knack for something? Or how do you know you have a passion for something if you never take the first step to even try? When I went back to China to visit my grandma, my uncle, my dad, we went to a night market, and there was like a balloon shooting popping game. I've always tried to stay away from these kind of arcade games because I have this belief that I'm terrible at it, and that people are going to like I never win, it's like, what's the point? I never win. I'm just making a fool of myself, but my dad and my uncle were like, no, you should just try. Like, it's fine. Just try it. And I remember that my aunt, before I left, she kind of talked to me for a little bit, and she just said, just try. Like, you never know what things are going to lead you. So keeping that in mind, I was like, okay, you know what? Whatever. I'm like in a place with strangers that I don't really care about, who probably don't care about me. It's my dad and my uncle. They're here. I'm not alone. I got it. So I played this game, and it was the first time I actually played this game. First time in my life. And I kid you not, I was so damn good at it. I, in the end, won, like, I don't know if you can see, but like this plushie right here, which is like the biggest plushie they had. And it was like, if you pop like a certain number of balloons, you get this prize. I was so damn good at it. And I truly surprised myself. I was like, what? And my dad and my uncle kept on telling me, like, no, this is how you hold it, because I was holding it in a very unorthodox way. But you know what? Who cares? Because I popped those balloons in my own unique way, and it didn't matter if I looked silly doing it. I got that prize. Okay, I got that prize, and I'm really proud of myself. And I think that's something that's a good lesson to take, in your life, in my life. is just to try, because you never know. And also, when you try doing things, do things your way, do things the way that makes sense to you. And it doesn't matter if the things that you do are a little unorthodox, if people mock you for like, this isn't the standard way to do things. It doesn't matter, because in the end, if you achieved your goal, it doesn't really matter like how you got to there, right? Your journey is unique to you, and so you can obviously take other people as inspiration and advice, but know that your journey in itself is going to be unique and different and maybe a little unorthodox, and that is completely okay and fine. I hope you guys took something out from this video, and know that you are never alone. Everyone is dealing with probably the same things that you are dealing with, and we're all in this together. So hope you guys have a fantastic day or night whenever you guys are listening to this. Thank you if you have listened to this video all the way to the end, I want you to put like, I guess like a heart emoji with the little sparkles. Is that's we have that, right? Like a heart emoji with the little sparkles on it. So I know that you guys listened to this video all the way to the end, because it's really important that you guys have listened to it all the way to the end. So yeah, and if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, because I really want to do more videos like this, kind of like a podcasty style. And if you guys really like it, and want a more longer unfiltered version, I am considering of making this into an actual podcast that you can listen to on Apple iTunes or on Spotify. So yeah, if you like the idea of a podcast, also comment that down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.